Hey everyone, how's it going? Cloud here, and welcome to my guide on the Throne of Miscellanea quest. So, for this quest you need the following requirements, so you must have completed the following: Hero's Quest, you need 56 quest points minimum, Shield of Arath, Lost City, Dragon Slayer, Merlin's Crystal, Druidic Ritual, and the Fremennic Trials. You will also require one of the following, so you don't need to have all of them, only one of these skills. Either level 35 Herblore, 10 Farming, 45 Woodcutting, 40 Fishing, or 30 Mining. Personally, I would make sure that you have either the 30 Mining or 45 Woodcutting, as you'll be needing to sort of acquire approval ratings, and the Woodcutting and Mining skills help you get that quicker than what the other ones do. So that's only a recommendation, that you don't have to do that necessarily. That's it for requirements. Now onto the items. So you're going to need an iron bar, a log of any kind, any tradable non-enchanted ring. So I would literally just stick to the basics, either sort of a sapphire, emerald, ruby or diamond ring. You will need a bunch of flowers. Again, they don't have to be a specific sort, but you can just sort of buy some cheap ones from the Grand Exchange. Now the following depends if you're a male or female. So if your player character is a female, you will need a cake. If your character player is a male, then you will need a bow, which can be any particular bow. You can get a free bow from the archery shop in Varrock, so that's just an option to do there. And as for the cake, by the way, it's just a standard cake, not a chocolate cake. The only other item that you're going to need, well, it's only a recommendation, but I highly recommend you do get these, are the Miscellanea teleport scrolls, which you can purchase from the Grand Exchange for about 1,000 coins each. Now, you only really need the one to kind of get you to the island quicker. However, to sort of speed up the quest, if you make sure you've got sort of about 10, as you'll be sort of running to and from different ends of the island, and it makes it quicker getting back if you have a few of those scrolls to use. But like I said, I'll leave that up to you, but I would recommend just at least having the one to get to the quest start point. So that's it for the requirements and items. Now onto the quest starting point. So I'm currently outside Miscellanea Castle, which I got here by using the Miscellanea teleport scrolls that I was talking about a minute ago. Now, if you don't want to purchase the scrolls, how you get here, what you need to do is head to Relica, which is north of Sears Village. So I recommend just teleporting to the Sears Village lodestone and then head north to Relica. You need to complete the Fremennic Trials anyway to do this quest. You guys should know getting there is easy enough. Then all you have to do simply is go to one of the docks in Relica, and there should be an option to sail to Miscellanea, and then obviously just head over to this direction here. But like I said, to save yourself some time, I would just buy one of those scrolls, as they only cost about 1,000 coins on the Grand Exchange. So from here, the quest starting point is by heading inside this castle and going on the first floor and speaking to King Vargas. As you go to walk through the door on the first floor, you'll be stopped by a guard, and you'll mention that you are a member of the Heroes Guild, and you'll be allowed in to speak to King Vargas. So the king will tell you about himself and says he's looking for a regent for his kingdom, offer to take on the duties of the regent, and the king asks you to first demonstrate your worth by making peace with Etcetera. He will ask you to also become part of his royal family by either marrying his daughter or son. So if you head over here and speak to Advisor Grimm, who is just near the king, ask him how to make peace with Etcetera, and he tells you to talk with Queen Sigrid of Etcetera. Now, that castle is complete opposite end of the island with Miscellanea, so what you need to do is go down to the ground floor and then just keep heading east all the way over across the bridge until you reach the castle of Etcetera, and I'll speak to you in a minute. Once you're near the castle, you want to go through the main door and open up a few different doorways to get to this staircase. When you climb up, you should then see Queen Sigrid in her room, and you want to speak to her. So once you speak to her, you'll tell her you've been sent by King Vargas to negotiate a treaty, and she says she'll agree to a peace deal if King Vargas will accept Etcetera officially as a sovereign nation. So you now need to return to King Vargas. Now either walk back to the opposite side of the island, or if you've got a load of those Miscellanea scrolls like I recommended at the beginning, just simply use one of them and you'll teleport right outside the castle again. And then all you need to do is go to the first floor and speak to the king once again. So once you've spoken to the king, you'll tell him what the queen said, and he says he'll recognise her country if she changes their national anthem. So you now need to head back to Queen Sigrid again like we did a minute ago, so I'll speak to you once you're back in the same room as her. So, once you speak to her, although she at first says it's a great anthem and that she composed it herself, she eventually agrees but requests that you come up with a new anthem. So now we need to return to Miscellanea Castle once again, so either walk back across or use the teleport scroll once again. So once you're back outside the castle, go to the ground floor, and instead of going into King Vargas's throne room, you're going to head south a bit more, and you should see a room where Prince Brand is, and you want to talk to him, and you'll tell him you need a new anthem. He'll agree and write you one immediately. It is, however, terrible, and he'll give you an awful anthem. What you want to do is then enter the throne room and talk to Advisor Grimm about the anthem, and you and the advisor will come up with a few adjustments and turn it into a good anthem. You then want to return this to Queen Sigrid in etc. once again. So I'll speak to you once you're with her again. So once you've spoken to her, she is pleased with her new anthem and hands you a treaty, which she has already signed, and all you need to do is have it signed by King Vargas. So once again, head back to Miscellanea Castle using your preferred method. Once you're back in King Vargas's room, tell him it is awaiting his signature, and he'll say he cannot sign it with an ordinary pen. He needs a pen large enough for him to hold. So what you want to do is go back outside the castle and head to the northern shore of Miscellanea. East to where the mining icon is, you'll find Derek, the sort of blacksmith. You want to talk to him and tell him you have a strange request, and says that he can make a giant nib of a pen for you if you have an iron bar, which you should hand automatically over to him if you've got it in your inventory. So once you have the giant nib, use them on this set of logs you brought, and you'll end up with a giant pen. And you want to take this back to King Vargas, who will then sign the treaty, and that will bring an end to the rivalry between the two kingdoms. So, our next task is we need to get married to either Princess Astrid or the prince that we spoke to a minute ago. Now, this will depend on what gender your character currently is. Now, obviously, because my character is male, I will be showing in the video how to get married to the princess. What I shall do, though, is a pretty much similar process for the prince. I will write the guide for sort of how to get him to agree to marry you in the video description below, but it's practically almost the same thing as what we do for the princess. So, we need to enter Princess's room, which is north of the throne room, and speak with the Princess of Miscellanea. She'll start to talk to her about your desire to become the regent, and she'll interrupt you to say she has many suitors, but she will, however, give you a chance to impress her. So you want to speak to the Princess a few times and agree with a positive response to whatever she says. Now, once you've done that sort of 3 or 4 times, it shouldn't come up with any more dialogue options. You then want to use the flowers that you have on her. Once you've given her flowers, she'll thank you, and now you want to use either the dance, headbang, twirl, or jig emote in her room, and she'll comment on your ability to dance. Speak to her a few more times, and once again responding with the positive responses. And once she says no other dialogue options for you to choose from, you then want to use the bow that you have, not the emote, obviously the bow in your inventory on her. She'll thank you for the bow, and again you want to speak to her a few more times, replying with the appropriate responses. And then once again, once you've run out of different dialogue options, you then want to select the blow kiss emote, and then once you've done that, you then want to use the ring on her. So once you've used your ring on her, she'll finally agree to marry you, but she'll say that you'll both have to put off the actual ceremony until you can find a priest, but you can tell her father of the marriage. So like I said, it's a very similar method to marrying a prince. It's practically the same thing. The only difference is obviously the emotes you'll do for him are different, and you'll be giving him a cake instead of a bow. But like I said, the guide to marrying the prince is written in the video info section of this video, so basically just follow that and you shouldn't run into any problems at all. So once you've got engaged to either the prince or princess, you want to head back to King Vargas and tell him that they've agreed to marry you. He tells you that the population, however, is not supportive of you being their ruler and suggests you try to gain their support. You want to talk to Advisor Grimm and ask him how you can gain the support of the population, and he says you should go help the subjects with their daily tasks, and that will give you a % of the population who currently supports you. Now, you need the support of at least 75% of the population to become regent, and you can check your approval rating by asking the villager you are helping. So the way to gain approval rating is by using the different skills that the quest required at the beginning, and it all depends on what you've got. So you can either assist with raking, which requires level 30 Herblore and level 10 farming, and that's literally just outside the main castle. You can help with the mining, which is obviously near where the smith was that we was at a few moments ago, and help mine coal. Obviously that requires you to have level 30 mining. Or you can chop maple trees, which require you to have level 45, and that's sort of in the centre of the island. Or once again, you can help with fishing, which requires level 40 fishing on the docks of Miscellanea, and that will obviously help get your approval rating up as well. Now, because it takes ages for the sort of weeds to grow back for the raking, I wouldn't really suggest doing that, and obviously fishing will all depend on your luck really, and obviously what you've got for the level. So I would personally either stick to mining or chopping the maple trees. So obviously there's plenty of coal rocks near the mining area, so you don't even have to worry about them taking time to respawn, and also the maple trees, there's loads of them scattered around, so you ain't got to worry about waiting for them to respawn either. Obviously you won't collect any resources, they'll just go straight to the villager, and obviously you can keep track of what your approval rating is by right-clicking one of them and asking what your approval rating is, and that will tell you what you currently are. So all you need to do now is just basically keep either woodcutting or mining or any of the other two that I mentioned until your approval rating has got to 75%. So it will probably take you at least sort of 15-20 minutes. So I'm going to obviously skip that footage now, and I'll speak to you again once you've got these 75%. So once you have at least 75% of the public support, you want to return to King Vargus to become the Regent of Miscellanea. So after speaking to him, he'll congratulate you on becoming the Regent, and it will come with congratulations, you have completed the Throne of Miscellanea quest. You are awarded 1 quest point. You'll now have the Management of Miscellanea activity you complete. You can do the ability to teleport to Miscellanea with your enchanted Ring of Wealth, 2 treasure hunter keys and 2 hearts of ice. So overall, very easy quest, just a lot of running around and talking to people mostly, but if you've bought those Miscellanea teleport scrolls, that should have sped that up as well, and obviously the end bit about getting your approval rating up, that will just take some time, but it won't take too long either. Now, the main reward from this quest is access to the Management of Miscellanea. Now, this is a daily sort of activity that takes place and gathers you resources, and actually you can make a fair bit of money from this. However, before sort of getting involved in doing that, I do highly suggest that you complete the sequel quest, Royal Trouble, as that gives you more access to resources and also increases the amount you basically get from that. So to be honest with you, I wouldn't really recommend doing the Miscellanea management until you've completed that quest, but there aren't many requirements for it, and I obviously have already filmed a quest for that as well, so once that guide is available, it will be in the description below. But once you have completed the Royal Trouble, the island management is a very sort of handy thing that you can do. Now, it doesn't actually require you to do anything as such. All you're going to sort of need is a minimum of about 1 million coins, and obviously you just need to return to the island sort of each day, and basically you can get about 150k averagely a day by just doing nothing. About all you need to do is leave 1 million coins in the kingdom's investments, and your subjects will gather you different resources. Now, I'm going to make a little video about that after I've finished working on the Royal Trouble quest guide, so you can look out for that, and that will give you a bit more knowledge about what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't think you'll run into any problems following this guide. However, if you do get stuck at all at any point, leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll help you out as best I can. If not, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. Cheers guys, bye bye.